Welcome to Overtones, a show that explores the charming interactions between musical cultures. I'm Saili Oak, a Hindustani singer from India living in the US.
And I'm Reena Esmail, a composer from the US living in Los Angeles. And we're the co directors of Shastra, an organization that connects the classical music traditions of India and the West.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Overtones. It's great to be with you all today. So, as many of you know, Saili and I have worked together for years as musicians, and we've had so many musical experiences together. But in that time, we've also just had so many moments, just social moments that happen when you kind of combine cultures together that have these kind of, some of them are like ridiculous, some are just these lost in translation, some of them are just so awkward. We've experienced so many of these things, and we really wanted to take the time to share them with you. So we're going to start today with this idea that, music that is really full music in some cultures then gets completely reduced into like a little nugget in other cultures. And so for me, when I was growing up and I would hear, Indian sounds on TV, it would maybe be like some person was like a little bit of a hippie and there'd be like a sitar strum playing or something. And that was really all that I knew about like Indian classical music just from watching TV or something. But then Saili, you had the opposite experience.
Yes, growing up, I used to listen to Western classical music in television ads, some of the cartoons, or some of the music as they make you hold the telephones. So that's what our exposure to Western music was, because there was no Google or YouTube where we could listen to Western classical music. Yeah.
Yeah, so one of these ads was this ad for Raymond suiting, which is, a very kind of high-end suit company in India. Saili, I just want you to play this for us, and those of you who are Western musicians, see what you hear.
Oh, here it goes, a trip down the memory lane.
Raymond, the complete man.
It's amazing. When I hear that, I hear a piece called Traumerei, and it's a piece by the Western composer Robert Schumann. It's a piece that a lot of us who grew up in America, who took piano lessons, we played on the piano when we were young. And this idea of Traumerei means dreaming in German. And it's this idea, this dream, this kind of aspiration. It's almost like a child kind of dreaming about what it's like to have a life beyond, just their confines of being a child.
I think exactly it's the theme of the advertisement we just saw. It must have been a dream come true for the father to get to see his son get his first job. And I think
Yeah.
it resonated very well with the music that played with it.
Yeah, it's amazing how that, I wonder whether it was a choice and whether someone actually knew that or whether it just translated across cultures and then became a part of things. It's interesting how Western classical music, sometimes in other cultures, as seen as this kind of high-end sophistication, and like there's a little bit of elitism and aspiration kind of associated with it.
It's also the sounds. It's not like every day we used to get to hear a piano or a violin play in the Western sense. So it was really this very rare kind of music that was heard only in the ads world.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. Maybe play us the next one.
the complete man.
Oh, wow. So with that one, it started out just feeling like it was the piece we know of Traumerei, but then all of a sudden it took a complete turn when the singer started singing.
I'm pretty sure the singer did not have any kind of notations in front of him. I probably just improvising over the chord progression there.
Yeah, exactly. It was this moment where we just suddenly realized, we're not in Europe anymore. This is definitely not a piece of European music. So yeah, that was a really interesting kind of combination of cultural crossover through ads, as you say. Let's hear the third one.
Raymond, the complete man.
Okay, so there's so much to discuss there. I love how it starts with Traumerei, and the girl is kind of walking in present time, and then the minute she trips, which, by the way, I am so terrified of tripping in saris. I mean, I will be in front of an orchestra, and I'm just, the only thing I can think about is that I'm gonna trip in front of this orchestra wearing a sari. So, I mean, Indian women who do it all the time, hats off to you. But in any case, so the girl trips, and it takes her back to the past. And the minute she's in the past, Traumerei goes away, and it's just purely Indian music. And then the minute she grows up and she comes back, it's Traumerei is back again. And it's really interesting because, we were wondering, is this kind of a vestige of colonialism where, someone's past, someone's, not even someone's personal past, but someone's kind of historic past really is themselves. It's kind of this indigenous music that's part of who they are. And then, when they grow up, they kind of assimilate into this colonial culture. And you see that, again, it's very sophisticated, and though she's wearing a sari and they're clearly Indian people, they clearly have this sophisticated Westernness about them. I mean, it also helps that the suits themselves are, Western suits that people wear.
Right, and also the brand that the music is representing, which is catering to these elite class of people who are wearing the suits or the suiting on special occasions.
Right. It's not just something you go and hang out in. It's something that's supposed to represent a big moment in your life.
Yes.
So now that you've heard all these different ads, we're going to take you out with the actual recording of Traumerei. So those of you who are familiar with the Raymond suiting ads, take a listen to what the actual piece is. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.